I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller,
And I'm Niall Spain.
and we're your fuck buddies.
Welcome to The Closet. We're here. We are a sex and dating advice podcast where you take your sexy, sticky situations
it's not
and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
so easy, is it?
It's not so easy because I started talking, was like, oops, I skipped your part. And then instead of doing my part, accidentally did your part. Now you got to do my part.
Simply put, we're a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your questions and answer them, where we find them roaming in the wilds and from our dirty, sticky listeners.
See, it is easy, isn't it? I don't know why we did the intro backwards, but we're back in the
'Cause
closet.
It's early and we're in the closet.
Do you usually? No, I usually sit on this side.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, guys, this week we're going to talk about the tactical wake-up seduction method.
Refusing to sleep in a bed due to sexual history.
Fiance tracked my location to do a pop-up.
And has cinterbaited ruined my life.
Cinterbaited?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the tactical wake-up seduction method is?
This is unfair because we've recorded this already.
Don't let them know. Yeah, we tried to record this episode the other day, and computer said no.
Yeah, I mean, internet said no.
Yeah. And we don't have to be very specific.
We do. We're coming for you,
Our
Riverside.
service provider. You're naming them. No, Dave.
We love Riverside. Riverside did it. Everyone goofs it every now and
But
then.
you know what? We love them a little less right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Riverside CEO.
Yeah, we want reparations. Yeah, we tried to do this, and the Riverside was just like, we won't, actually.
Mhm. So, yeah, we may have said the next 1 minute and 30 seconds before, kind of ish, but
Yeah,
they wouldn't have known if you hadn't told them.
it's true. But I don't like lying. They come to us for honesty, and I want to be transparent.
He's winking and crossing his fingers as he says
Yeah.
all of this. Well, do you want to just skip the part where we talk about what we thought it was?
Yeah, I mean, no. Look, when we first did this, that's how I'm gonna. I
Yeah.
thought it was like a Call of Duty style slide, like slide
affirmations.
cancel out of bed. Like
Hmm.
you wake up and you're plating and also sliding and reloading at the same time.
Really
Doing
going
it-
into the tactical part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a sick like 360
Mhm.
no scope into the closet to grab your wardrobe.
Maybe like you have like a voice clip from one of the missions where it's like, you got to get in there and you got to not let anybody stop you.
Yeah,
You know, exfil on the rooftop. And then you kind of like forget that part when you're at the nightclub. 'cause-
waking up in the AO.
Yeah, yeah.
RPG.
Yeah. Just to hype you up in the morning, kind of like your affirmations. I thought it was going to be like a question we covered ages ago where somebody woke up very early, like went to bed early, woke up before clubs closed and like
Yeah.
went in fresh. Like first thing they did when they woke up was go to a 4 a.m. club to like be a fucking freak.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that.
I realized that like now where we're going in our careers, especially with the things that are happening with NoQuest, that like voice acting in video games isn't off the table. Like I feel like that is
we
like
could be your tactical wake up.
I want to be the guy who yells RPG in a military game.
Yeah, for sure.
Like nothing else. I don't need credit. I don't need anything. I just want to be the guy that just
I'll
yells
take Dane's credit. And pay.
RPG. And that be used. I want to be like the Wilhelm scream of guy who yells RPG.
I could be a guy that yells a thing. I feel like that's firmly under my
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be fun to do like just the like
I want to be the guy who's
military
just like,
call-outs.
huh, nothing's here. You
Yeah.
know, when like
Yeah.
someone got murdered in front of you, you walk over and you're like, wait a minute. And then like, oh, guess it's all fine. You
Yeah.
leave your friend dead in the dirt.
Must have been the wind.
The wind must have fucking shot my friend. I hate the wind. But no, this is by Anthony 71710. Tactical wake up seduction method. What's up, gentlemen? 27, still technically a virgin, but I've spent the last decade studying seduction like it's a science. While other guys were wasting time on trial and error, I was investing in the real knowledge. I've been through blank, blank, blank. I'm not going to promote shitty pickup artists. And I've cross-referenced them with psychology textbooks and neuroscience studies. I don't just practice pickup. I understand the mechanics of attraction. So here's something I call the tactical wake-up call. The principle is simple but powerful. When you first interact with a girl, don't give her energy. Present as tired, distracted, low effort. Tell her you can hardly keep your eyes open. She subconsciously registers a lack of stimulation. Her brain begins craving it. Then, when you choose, you flip the switch. Suddenly you're fully present, locked in, interested. The contrast slams her limbic system, dopamine release, oxytocin priming, heightened reward circuitry. She associates the chemical spike with you. I call it micro-trauma bonding. It's basically conditioning her nervous system to see you as the source of relief after tension. Use it wisely.
There's a lot of things that I like about this question.
Very quickly, do you think we could blend what we were saying before? And that is when you wake up and you're locked in, it's because you're yelling, RPG!
Yeah. That's the micro trauma bond is your alarm
Mhm.
has been set to various like Battlefield 6 cries of various forms of assault. And speaking of assault, there's a few things in here that tickle me. I understand seduction. I've studied it. I know everything about it. Still technically a virgin. One, I love that technically a virgin is like the seduction like tagline,
Mhm.
where it's like all these men who haven't actually had sex but know everything about it, or
Of
like
course, yeah.
have these. I'm like, because like for me, it's a wild move to come in and be like, this is the science behind it. I haven't gotten it to work,
Well,
but
look at Einstein. Huh? Did he get the thing to do before he studied? No. He did the thing after studying.
what the hell are you talking about?
All scientists, they study theory until you can't do the thing and then know about it. You have to know about it to do the thing.
Yeah, but the difference here is
Other people have done the thing.
not even that. Is he was a physicist. He
Mhm.
was doing physics. He was doing science, right? So
Well, this guy is a psychologist, a neurosurgeon,
which is fine. but
also he's technically still a virgin, meaning he's dabbled in other sexual things.
Yeah, he's done sex.
he's a
stuff.
sex boy.
Yeah. That's like the guy who was like, I've read the Kama Sutra, so
It's-
I'm practically not a virgin.
Genuinely could be the same person.
Yeah.
I also love the like, well, you were out doing this. It's real like I studied the blade.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is, I thought it was a piss take, but I'm going through the comments and his response and everything, and I don't think it is. Or he's just playing it so straight that it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But half the comments replying to it are genuine. Actually, like 75% are genuine. 25% are like, is this, are you taking the piss? But they're not sure either. So,
Yeah. I mean, like, look, if your cool, sweet romance move is using the terms slam their brain.
it's like a wrestling match.
Yeah. Bad.
Bad?
Just right off the bat, just bad. If you're then coining the phrase micro trauma bonding, probably also not great, because like trauma bonding
Not good.
is something that happens naturally sometimes
Mhm.
with things, right? Like sometimes that's a thing that happens.
Like if you
you're-
work in the service industry.
Yes, everyone can trauma bond over, Mother's Day brunch.
Don't,
Uh,
we're not going to talk about that.
but if you're but other than that, like it's widely regarded to not try to trauma bond with someone early on in a relationship, because like it gives a skewed idea of like who you are as a person. It makes it seem like that's
Also,
the
like,
core thing.
I think the point of trauma bonding is that like a thing outside of your control is happening and you just get closer as a result.
Yeah.
So this, it's almost like, oh, I paid someone to run someone over in the street so me and her could get closer.
Yeah.
No, the trauma part should not be a thing you
Yeah.
fabricate or manufacture
Yes.
or seek out. It should be not, you should want a life without trauma
Yeah.
as
And
much as possible.
And if your whole gambit is about
Let's traumatize this woman.
like
Hey, girl, I'm gonna slam your limbic system.
like simulating trauma,
Mm.
it also bad.
Also, let's be fair. Weird move to be like, I'm just such a sleepy boy.
I do. No, here's the thing.
Hold on. I mean, like, I can't imagine anybody. Like, I know. Okay, you hit me with your thing. I know what you're gonna say.
I do think that this has the quote unquote potential to work. Obviously, if you do it as cartoonishly as your,
That's what he said.
I
can't even keep my eyes open. Like,
but I do think that like it's the same as like it's essentially gaslighting, right? Like,
yeah,
and it's like a mixture of gaslighting and love bombing, right?
Yeah, fair.
So it's taking two
And
really
nagging, I guess.
it's like taking two really shitty concepts of like manipulation and
It's like
blending
the
them in.
infinity gauntlet
Yeah.
of shitty things. The stone of nagging. We've got the stone of gaslighting. We have,
the love bombing, and
Yeah.
it's like that's the trouble with this, right?
Mhm.
Is I think it is rooted in things that would work for someone with a low enough self-esteem or a low enough sort of self-worth,
Mhm.
if you find the right person to simulate the idea of like, oh, my presence has like changed this person. Like
Mm.
they're so, me being around them and talking to them have like, has completely changed.
Mhm.
And I have that power.
Or even like, oh, this person's not into me. Wait, I did something. And
Yeah.
now they are. Like, what did I do? Or like,
Yeah.
oh, like, yeah, maybe, but also don't do this.
no, but
Dane's telling you to do this, and I disagree.
I'm not telling you, I'm saying that
He's winking and crossing his fingers again.
it's particularly dangerous because of the damage it could do. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a way to pick someone up. This is a way to fuck someone up. Right?
Sure.
Like, this is a way to find someone who has like a low self-worth,
Mm.
low self-esteem, and like really do a number on them, I think. In the same way that like gaslighting someone or negging someone or, you know, love bombing someone. Like,
I also think like it's going to be next to impossible to do because nothing that's being described is natural. So if you're like consciously being like, oh God, I act like a real sleepy guy, and then, oh, I got to turn like, I think the odds of someone lasting long enough into your sleepy guy performance to be then bamboozled and slammed by your interested guy performance,
yes. I mean, you'd have to like be in a situation where
they can't leave. I
yeah,
guess.
like you'd have to be like partners in like a school project or something where you're like
Yeah.
forced to be together because like the whole idea of pickup is that they're the quote unquote aggressors or the approachers, right? So
Yeah.
to approach someone and be like, hey
I'm
man,
so
how's
sleepy."
it going? I'd love to talk to you, but I'm so tired. Like, it's like, well, then why would you do it in the first
Yeah.
place, right? So it's like it seems already manipulative and shitty
Yeah.
to do to someone who like is kind of a captive audience. Like they
Yeah.
have to be
Mhm.
there.
And on top of this, is like we've talked about people lying and like how that takes you out of yourself. I don't imagine this would be any different because you're trying to play this persona in both cases. You're not really being you. And it's like, if for some reason it does work, how do you keep this going?
And I'm not like to extrapolate on that. Like, okay, great. You've gotten her number. You go on a date. And all you've shown is this weird,
Manic.
yeah, either like full energy manic man
Mhm.
or sleepy boy. And then like,
Like, do you show up normal on
Do
the
you- yeah.
date or do you show up sleepy and they're like, damn it?
what if like she has no idea what your actual personality is?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, how genuine and authentic are you being in both of these things? Are you still saying the things that matter to you?
yeah, it's oh, I really love D&D. And then I love D&D. Like,
yeah, like what's the play here once you get past that sort of like initial quote unquote attraction of what she'd been like, oh, I have this effect on you, here's my number, let's fuck. And then like what version of you shows up? Is it another gambit? Like, is it another weird move? And then, so therefore no one ever
knows who you are. And
you're just like a series of like weird fucking bits.
And even then, your bits have to run out at some point if they ever continue to work, right?
Yeah, because like if you go in with this like mindset, like I remember talking to one of my friends who was seeing this guy, and he essentially did the same like routine every time he would come over. So like every time she'd booty call him, he'd come over and like almost verbatim say the same thing, do the same thing, like same move, same position. Like it
what
was
kind of stuff though? Like what would he say?
like he would come in and like say something along the lines of, I'm trying to like remember.
Oh, I'm so sleepy.
He would say something along the lines of being like, oh, I had such a long day. This is gonna be like the perfect end to it. But like that was like he said it every time the exact same way.
Real NPC energy.
And then he would like try to like pin her against the wall and like do sort of like the same,
Which is super weird.
Yeah, the first time she was like, oh, this is great. The second time she was like, nah, all right.
Well, there's like the jarringness of like, even if it was good, if it just happened verbatim again, that would just take me out of it so hard that I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like when you get someone who's like very obviously performing for you, and you're just like, this would be so much hotter if you just acted normally, like if this was just a normal encounter.
Meanwhile, they're just like, I'm so tired, I can't keep my eyes open. But then halfway through fucking, they're like, wait,
that would be
awful,
upsetting.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be so bad.
It would be upsetting in general. Like if I was talking to someone, they were just like, "Oh, hold on. Can't even keep my eyes open." I'd be like, "Go nap. Get a coffee. I'll talk to you later."
Yeah, I would be genuinely concerned for that person.
Yeah.
Like my effort to appeal to them would, like, I would go into like nurture mode. Like I would not go into like sexy mode.
Got you.
I'd be
They
like,
got you.
let's.
Now you're caring for them.
Yeah, let's get you tucked in.
I
Please.
think, like, depending on the situation, I would be like, "Why did you come out if you're this tired?" Like, if it was like a date, Or if it was like in a group scenario, I'd be like, oh, you should get coffee or something. And I'd probably just go talk to somebody else. Cause like,
That's what I
I'm
mean.
not going to like beat through your exhaustion. Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, like they really do have to be like
They have nowhere else to go.
stuck talking to you, because even just the approach of like
Yeah.
walking up to someone and being like,
Hey, excuse me. Can I? Yeah. What's up? I'm real
I'm
tired.
so tired. I can barely talk to you right
Maybe
now.
it's-
like, why would you come over and tell me this?
Maybe it's expressly for hitting on baristas.
That's honestly, that's kind of the vibe I get, is like it's
And then halfway through, you're like, wait. Cancel that coffee. You've done it.
yeah, you did it. Shut away.
Boom.
Like, is it for bartenders and servers and cashiers and stuff who can't get
Cannot
away?
leave you. Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like, their captive audiences. Like, that's
Did I read out the Hooters thing?
no.
Well,
I don't
maybe
think-
we're changing question two, because I was about to be like, it's like when we talked about this, we didn't talk about it.
No.
Okay. Keep going while I find this.
It's just a matter of thinking about what you're trying to accomplish, right? And this guy presumably is trying to sleep with a lot of women. That tends to be the seduction method. You're not going to have any luck. And I think the fact that you introduce yourself as technically not a virgin or practically
Yeah,
not a virgin or whatever,
Technically, yeah.
why would anyone listen to your advice? It's like if I went to a money seminar.
Well, I'm technically
Yeah,
a
well,
millionaire.
technically I'm not poor. You know, it's like why is anyone listening to you if this hasn't yielded the responses and results that you want?
Mhm.
Not that if it did, you should do it, but there's an extra level of like, even you must know this is bullshit
Yeah.
because it's not working for you.
Mhm.
Because if it was, you'd be having sex all of the time, which again, I assume is your goal if
Yeah.
you're in seduction.
He's just been studying up, man.
It also like it all boils down to the fact that like these men think that women are puzzles to be solved
Yeah.
and are all going to fall for the same trick, not ignoring the fact that like something might have worked for someone once,
Sure.
because and we talked about it, I think last week, where it's just like what works for Niall is not going to work for me,
Mhm.
which isn't going to work. So like coming in with these techniques and these ideas and these concepts and these bold moves, they might work great for you,
Probably not.
but most likely not, especially in seduction.
Yeah.
But like trying to translate that to someone who has no self-confidence, or try to translate it to someone who doesn't know how to talk to
Mhm.
people, it's like giving someone like if someone gave me the fucking instructions for an atom bomb
Yeah.
or how to build a microchip, it's all there. The likelihood of me doing it
Sure.
is slim.
Also, like, what if this poster is like a very Timothy Chalamet waif looking, like, does seem like a pale orphan child?
It does seem like
You
he
know?
is struggling for energy at all
Yeah,
possible times.
Right? Like, that might actually play into it, where it's like, wow, I've bypassed your genetic failures of this thin Victorian boy who's now somehow there's a flash of life in his cheeks. And maybe it's like, I think I have to keep talking with him or he may pass away from consumption.
It is weird that there's an edit about how you should prick your finger,
Yeah.
get a little blood mid conversation to rosy up your cheeks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
I think it's your. Do you want me to hit you? I got this one here.
I figured.
No, let's just go for it.
Let's go.
Let's go for it.
It seems to lead into it.
It might be a little too much of the same thing, but I feel like it's weird when things come up as a theme. This is by Set Lucky 1121. How to pick up a Twin Peaks / Hooters girl, and I thought it was the show Twin Peaks.
I
guess
also
they're-
thought it was going to be like a very strange, unnerving Hooters girl.
Right, I was
which
like-
in my case, hey,
that sounds great.
let's get all in.
I'm an average to maybe slightly above average dude, 5 to 6 on the scale. Accidentally discovered how to pick up girls that work at Hooters and Twin Peaks. I just like looking at pretty women. Always have. I'm a respectful man. Women are people. Going to a place like Hooters / Twin Peaks is a place you have permission to look a little. And I enjoy internally appreciating what beautiful women look like without having to try and bed them to satisfy my ego. Disclaimer, this is not a how-to guide to picking up any woman that works at these restaurants. It's a guide to how to pick up a few. It's worked for me several times. Any generalization it sounds like I'm making about all waitresses is only generalizing the ones this works on. And I promise you, it really does work.
God, I'm so excited.
Step 1, bring something to read or bring some work to do while you're at the restaurant. Bonus notes if you're reading a book that requires you to take notes. For whatever reason, ignoring beautiful women and focusing on something else drives them mad. They want to know what's more interesting than their beauty. I enjoy giving glances at different women in the store, but I wasn't there to pick up a new lady. I was there to read, work, or do something else besides beg for attention. 2, smile, be nice, be direct, be brief. You're not ignoring this girl, so don't. When she comes to check on you or see if you need a beer, stop what you're doing. Give your full attention and respond. Don't act like she's important to you until she's addressing you, but then value everything she says and respond directly to what she says. But don't ask more questions and try to turn the conversation into more. She's going to when you never do. 3, stick around for a long time, but stay engaged with what you're doing. The idea that any waiter or waitress doesn't like you being there for hours on end is a myth.
Yeah, man.
I love when you take a large percentage of my money-making potential away from me. It's entirely circumstantial. It's annoying for you to be there only if you meet any of the following conditions. 1, you beg for attention. 2, their section is full and you're preventing them from getting more tables. Thank you for an element of intelligence. You don't tip at least $10 to $15 after taking up the table for so long. This depends on how much your bill is, sir.
Yeah.
You prevent them from going home once they're cut. Okay. The longer you ignore them, the more curious they get. Step 3, I feel like we've already done a step 3, but okay. When she eventually asks you what you're reading or working on, engage her directly and answer. Appreciate her for asking. Don't drag out the conversation. She's trying to find out what's interesting about what you're doing because it's more interesting than her. Sell it as what's interesting to you. She will wish she was as interesting to you. Reminder, this doesn't go for every waitress. 4, keep coming back and ask for the same waitress that took interest in you. It's important to limit communication so you don't become a regular. They just lump in with the other needy middle-aged man. But be the dude that comes in and keeps to himself and is nice. I'm not sure what truly does it, but it feels like after a couple conversations and returns to the restaurant, she covets you because she knows more about you and the other girls still get ignored by you. She will tell them more about you behind the scenes. They will ask what your deal is, and she will be the deliverer of that info. 5A, ask your waitress to do something specific to an interest you share. Invite her to brunch to talk about the thing you talked about. Make clear you know they get asked out all the time. You're not trying to be weird. This usually works. 5B, test the waters with another waitress on the day your regular one isn't working. If one is interested, she won't be able to figure out why you didn't choose her to be regular. Since you never talked to anyone, it will take you through steps 1 to 5 very quickly. It's insane to me how well this works. Being nice and being into whatever you're doing is key. Patience plays a role. If you think a woman owes your time, you're going to struggle. The beautiful women I've dated from these restaurants appreciate being treated like more than a piece of ass, enjoy knowing I had interest beyond being a creep. What are your interests? I like being a creep. If it doesn't work, you have zero confidence. It doesn't work because you feel like nothing does. I get often numbers on the first visit, sometimes after several. Depends on the waitress. Don't hit on 1 or 2 at the same store, you creep. Even though that was, in fact, one of the steps. That was long.
So here's my trouble with this. A lot of it is just like how to be a person, right? Like there's a lot of it of just being like, yeah, like if you want to go to a restaurant and work, do the work and don't stare at the women, right? Like that's pretty universal advice. I can't argue with that. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things of him being like, if you're doing this, like don't keep it, like he seems to understand how restaurants work, which is a little glimmer of of hope.
There's an element where he doesn't, and then there's an element where he does. So I don't really know.
But then like I really want him to be like, should be like, hey, what are you working on? Oh, I'm working on a Reddit post for the seduction subreddit in which I tell men how to get in your pants.
Yeah.
Scientifically, of course.
But like, it's kind of like the other one where the whole point is to ignore them, right? It's like you're going to specifically have like a demonstration of, oh, this is more important than you are.
Yeah.
And then you like, you give them like breadcrumbs of like attention, but then you withhold it because your fucking scientific paper is way more important. And it's weird because they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, that's how seduction always is, right? Like,
yes,
they're always so close to understanding that like, oh, if I just go to a restaurant
and don't objectify someone and have a normal conversation, maybe it will work out.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before. I think the problem here is, I mean, I like the fact that this guy is getting dates. So like, he's not,
he says,
yeah, he's not being aggressively gross if these women are actually going on dates with him, right? Like he is hopefully behaving himself in this thing. But the problem is when you start telling people that this is how it's done, you're going to have a bunch of people who don't know how to do this. So now all of a sudden these poor women sections are filled with single men with fucking scattered papers of like who the Zodiac killer is, some shit, right? Like whatever they think is interesting or is going to make a woman go, ugh. And
my friend told me women don't care if you take up their sections.
Yeah.
It's like, a myth.
If you look at like any man's Tinder profile, they have no idea what women think is interesting, right? Yeah. So you're gonna have a bunch of dudes in there being like, "Oh, I'm just charting the migration pattern of bass."
I'm sorry guys, I'm painting my Warhammers.
Yeah. It's dumb.
It's bad though as well. It's like it's so weird to be like, I treat them like women. You're not. You're reducing them to like NPCs in this way, where you're like, oh, I gaslight them, I act weird, I deprive them, I give like, it's this push pull weird like deprivation fucking. And again, you're also doing it at specific restaurants, which is creepy. You're doing it at like the restaurants, as you say. That's weirder.
The other strange thing is that like how much are you spending? Because he's like, don't go to the same restaurant. So there seems to be, you have like a cycle or like a rotation of like, I don't know how many Hooters I've never heard of Twin Peaks, but I assume it's the same thing.
Probably referring to boobs.
Yes. But it's
or a very pointy butt.
How many how many of these are in your vicinity? Like we live in Toronto and I think there's one Hooters.
Yeah.
So it's like how big is your rotation? Like, is it really worth going and spending X amount of money?
You gotta be doing at least $40-$50 per minimum, right? So if you're going out, like, that's a couple beers, right? If you have food and a beer or two,
you're hitting 40-50 easy.
Yeah, easy.
Again, unless you're in like a place where food is and drink is still cheap, because it's not any major city.
Even then, it seems like the plan is to visit a couple times. Let's say $200, right? If you go 5 times, $200 minimum US, presumably, and it's like, okay, you could have just been normal.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like if you're capable of being charming enough, because like, look, these women don't give a fuck about what you're doing. These women aren't impressed by the fact that you ignored them. Like none of that. Like what probably has caught their interest is that like you're not being a douche. And you're not being disgusting, right? Like that is what is attracting these women.
Yeah, especially it feels like they're going to these places where people are commonly creepy, so they can stand out for not being creepy.
Yeah.
Cool. You've almost got there. Again, seduction. You're almost there. Yeah. Like it's almost like maybe creepy men aren't in the way.
Yeah. It's so like you're doing these like things that but you're like equating the success to the manipulation, which isn't it. I don't think.
Maybe it's part of it, but it also shouldn't be it.
Yeah,
or shouldn't be part of it.
Yeah,
like,
there might be a part of it of being like, oh, here comes that guy who's not going to like, who just sits and reads his book or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like that could be you normally without the idea of like, this is gonna fucking break her brain. This is gonna slam her.
Slamming her limbic system.
So fucking
why
relax.
do you have that mental steel chair? Don't worry, you're just staring at her limbic system. It's shivering in fear.
It's strange to build up this idea of like everything is a war and every tactic I have.
Well, when you have your tactical wake ups, you wake up into a war zone.
It's true. RPG. It's just don't do this, guys. Also, regardless of your success, they're at work.
Yes, and that's another thing is like you're specifically preying on people who are captive audiences. We talked earlier about how you would need this captive audience.
Yeah.
Oh, this one has found them. Yeah. Great.
And also like the idea of memorizing who this woman is and then going back into her section repeatedly. If she's not into you, or has a boyfriend, or whatever, it's like,
or you're not as charming as you think. Now this person has to suffer.
Now this person's like, fuck, here comes the book guy again. Yeah. He's gonna try to like ignore me and then get weirdly like engaged in when I ask him like, do you want another Bud Light? So,
sorry, I'm just reading my treatise on bass circulation in the South Atlantic, and then immediately pretend you don't exist, and then like fucking fist bump himself. You did it, Gregory.
It's gross, and I don't like it.
I got a third question that links into this. We're just going. Fuck what we said at the start. I'm sorry, guys, but hey, how's your limbic system feeling? Slammed. This one, the body of the text has been deleted, but I think we can have a discussion because I think it links into two things and also a trend I've been seeing lately. How has the performative male meme affected your game?
What's the performative male meme?
So, you know the way they were doing like Timothée Chalamet, like lookalike contests and shit?
Yeah.
They did a performative male contest in Toronto recently.
Okay.
Where like men were showing up with like their fucking cardigan draped over their shoulders and like their glasses on and like their like feminist book. And they're like, sorry I'm late. I just came from my book club where we were discussing like the Oprah picks and, I have to run. I have my spirituals, my drum circle or some shit. And it's like just playing off this, like, because apparently it's now become a meme. It's a thing of the performative male who's like, I have a sex positive sex and dating advice podcast. I mean, what? Which I find really funny. And it's doing its circles on like TikTok and shit where people are doing their like, two performative males have a performative male off and
Right.
and what is that if not this?
Yeah.
Oh, I showed up with my cool, interesting, like science thing or my like,
This is the thing. This is what I was kind of hope, and I still hope that we are in like the midst of it. I hope
Mhm.
we're in like the sort of like middle pendulum swing of men realizing that all of this is bad, right? Like all of the seduction techniques, all the pickup techniques, all that like just being genuinely interesting and interested is
Mhm.
really the surefire way to without mentally being like, I'm going to be interesting and
Yeah.
right? Like just being an authentic version of yourself
Mm-hmm.
and letting that do all the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope we're in that pendulum where a lot of men are now sitting there and being like, hold on. And like, what I mean? It's the end of the Saw movie where he's starting to piece together all of the like,
I've
the
never
like
seen
clues.
a Saw movie,
Oh,
but
it's,
thanks for spoiling them. There are clues? Great. At the end of the movie, cool. Like, is he piecing them together like a jig's? Great. Thanks, man. Fuck.
you hear the like, dun, 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 dun. No, that's
Live and Let Die by
yeah,
Guns N'
that's-
Roses and or the start of
Uh,
the
George
James Bond
Harrison?
movie.
uh,
That can't be the music.
it's very similar to that. I'll play the Saw
Throw it
theme.
in the podcast. We'll see if Saw will sue us.
Yeah, Mr. Jigsaw himself. He won't sue us. We'll wake up and our fucking dicks will be attached together with a bear trap.
Everything.
And be like,
Do you think that's not what our listeners want?
that's actually how we record, and it's the only way we can get close enough to get the mics on us. What the fuck was I saying? What was I talking about?
Men realizing.
Oh yeah, the pendulum, right? Like I think this is like I'm hoping this is the societal shift
Mhm.
that I was calling after COVID.
Well, on the upside, it's like if we look at like we're probably two of the foremost seduction scholars in the world, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And there has been a positivity shift over the last couple of years. Like it was a cesspool when we went
Yeah.
on first. And now like the more terrible posts are being given shit. And some of the posts approach like normal human behavior. Some people are like, hey, we should not play games and treat women normally and
Yeah.
like people. And half the comments are like, yeah, man. And the other half are like, you fool. So we're getting there, I think.
I mean, there's always going to be the old guard, right? There's always going to be the people who think that
Mhm.
like the way they weren't getting laid was the right way.
yeah.
And like I think a big part of it also is like men are not getting laid and women can get laid,
Mhm.
quote unquote, very easily.
Yeah.
So I think like this sexual resurgence and this sort of like sexual renaissance that women are having, where they're just like, no, if I want to fuck, I'm gonna get fucked, and I'm gonna go and like,
You pick somebody nice.
yeah, like it's, and now men being like, oh no, our biggest fears of like women actually being the gatekeepers of sex
Mhm.
is coming true. So I think like the fact that men now being like, oh, if I'm just fucking normal,
Mhm.
that puts me above, like the bar is so fucking low that just being a regular person like skyrockets your stock.
It's wild that is the secret, but
Yeah. And then it's like now I think people are starting to figure out and be like, oh, it's just a matter of like being interesting and being interested and having my own life and
Mhm.
having friends where we don't talk about women in a shitty fashion. It was like last night.
Stop telling them the sacred truths.
Last night, there was a specific group of people. Country fans.
Whoa.
And it's always so entertaining to watch country men, usually from out of the city, interact with women
A
who
battle
live in the
hardened
city.
Toronto woman.
Yeah, because they think that they're like douchey charm, like the things that would work with like the people in their shitty small
Also
town.
probably doesn't work.
It probably doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, dude, you're getting laid because there are like 7 people who
Yeah.
are viable sexual candidates
So
in
like
this town.
boredom alone is going to happen for you at
Yeah.
least once.
And like, so there was these 2 guys and 2 women sitting beside each other, and they were like, you going to the concert? Meanwhile, they're wearing cowboy hats. Like, it's very obvious they're going to the fucking country concert. And they were like, yeah, we're going. And they're like, oh, like, we should go together. And they were like, no. And they're like, what? And like, we're going to the same concert though. And they're like, yeah, but we don't want to spend time with you. And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, you're strangers. We're not going to spend a concert with you. You could suck. And they're like, oh, we don't though. And it's like,
yeah. Also, nothing proves you don't suck more than arguing with strangers to try to follow them when
Yeah.
they've said they don't want you. Like,
yeah.
you know, if this is your attempt and you say, hey, we go to concert together, and they say no, you go, fair enough, and then you get a drink and you say like, oh, hope
And
you
like,
guys have
the
a good
normal
one.
thing to say would be like, maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about this before of like the power of chatting with someone and then just leaving it.
The tactical chat method.
And not like trying to set anything up,
No.
not trying to like win any points, just like have a conversation with someone. Like all he had to do was be like, you're going to the concert? Great, cool. I'm so excited. Like, you know, how long have you listened to them? Or like, what's your favorite song? Blah, blah, blah. Have a brief conversation.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, you know, maybe we'll see you there. That's it.
Yeah.
That would have gone so much better. Because then if you bump into them, be like, hey,
Exactly.
as opposed to
Whereas
now
they're going to jump
they're going
and
to
dive
avoid
for cover.
you. Yeah, they're going to be like, no, these dudes are going to just glom onto us and
Which-
not.
It sounds like they were planning to do anyway.
Yes.
It's like,
And I'm like, it's so incredible to watch men fumble this consistently and
Yeah.
this hard over and over again. Where I'm just like, this could have gone fine.
Yeah.
Like you could have done this well,
mhm.
and it would have taken you significantly less effort.
Yeah, you
and
could have cracked
embarrassment.
open the door and like maybe nothing would ever happen to it, but you'd be sitting at a net positive. Maybe it's a 1 point or a
Yeah.
10 points or whatever. Instead, you were like, how about I fucking slam on the door till you lock it and then, you know, you call the cops.
Yeah,
on it.
come
Like,
around back and start jiggling your
Yeah.
back door handle. Be
It's
like,
so,
are you in there?
It's so desperate. It's creepy. It's uncomfortable. It's lame. It's dumb. Like it just isn't going to work. And if
Yeah.
it does, it's like you've either found someone who's just like doesn't give a shit, or you're doing it kind of out of duress. Like you never know. Some people are like, oh yeah, like because they're worried.
Yeah,
So don't, please.
don't do it.
It's so, and as Dane said, the other option is better, easier, and nicer.
Yeah,
Like,
and you have the potential to like go somewhere from that.
Yeah.
But it's like now the amount of men, and that's what like really makes me laugh, is like the amount of men that like just slam the door in their own face is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a shocking move, especially when like women are happy to like the groups of women who are there who are happy to chat. Like I have this one regular who I love. She's such a badass. She comes in, she has her wine by herself, but she's always very happy. Like if someone starts up a conversation with her, she'll have a conversation with her. But the second someone starts getting dumb, she just like calls it right to their face.
good.
And I'm like, you are a fucking legend.
It's badass.
And the way that like people like for a group of dudes who, you know, love to nag and shit like that, the second they're like called out, they like crumble.
Oh, for sure.
And they have no idea what to do, and they get so fucking weird and awkward. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
20 years ago, society wouldn't have let you said that. Ah, and they cry and they run out. Like, fuck off.
But I drive a Lexus.
I drive a douche car. Come on.
I have a Cybertruck.
Oh, God. You know, just hit you another one? You got one for me?
Yeah,
We
let's
should probably at least do one of the ones you
let's
promised.
do the one that confused you. Will the fact that I only syntropated, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, affect my sex life? Hi, I'm 18 years old, female, soon going away to university. All my life, I've always only used syntropation as a way to masturbate. I've never, and I mean never, did traditional way. I tried a couple times, but quickly felt weird and uncomfortable and would stop. For the same reason, I've never used a tampon, even started crying as I tried to insert it. So my question is basically, if there will be a moment when I have sex with my partner, especially if it's penetration, would it affect my pleasure in any way? So syntropation is a way of masturbating by essentially squeezing
Tensing your muscles.
Yeah, squeezing your thighs together and small sort of like movements like that. Which
Interesting.
I thought was very interesting.
Now your
I did read an
thighs jacked
article
as hell?
where it was like, you could do it anywhere. And I was like, well, don't
That's
do that.
weird,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, there's no difference in like a man jerking off on a
Yeah.
subway. If you're sitting on the fucking TTC
Rubbing your thighs.
masturbating,
Yeah.
that's fucking weird. That's
It
a
is
private
weird.
time
Mhm.
alone thing. Like, even like being like, oh, I'm, you know, alone at the office. I'm going to go into
Yeah.
the bathroom and fucking.
Or just sit on my chair and do it, I guess. Like,
It's weird, and don't do that.
Yeah,
That's not
just-
what this question is about, but like,
just because you're not getting caught doesn't mean it's okay.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm sure there are other signs, like your face. Like,
Yeah, if you're pleasuring yourself, I'm sure there's going to be indications of that.
yeah.
And
Don't do it. It's
I
fucking weird.
promise you, it's like when anyone does like something and they think they're being sneaky. It's like you're not
Yeah.
being as sneaky as you think you are.
Yeah.
There's usually some tells.
Yeah.
And if you're tensing yourself and like slightly rubbing and gyrating, you're probably, it's like, it would be so fucking weird to see
Yeah.
and very uncomfortable and gross.
Don't do that. Yeah, it seems like if trying to put a tampon in made you cry, you will have issues with penetration because it feels like you have some kind of repression here, but be it some kind of like maybe you have vaginismus or you have like a religious hang up or like a trauma in your past or something. Like there's obviously a mental hang up if you literally trying to put a tampon in made you cry and you touching yourself feels weird. I don't know why you would think that wouldn't be the case with a stranger in a far more vulnerable situation.
That's it, right? I
You know?
don't think it's a matter of how you've masturbated.
No.
Like, I don't think cinterbating is what's going to cause the issues in the future.
No,
I think it's,
I imagine you're cinterbating because you don't want to do anything else.
yeah.
Right? It's like that's a symptom of your fear of touching yourself in those ways. So that has nothing to do with it other than being a symptom of the cause, which is your like repression or hang up on your own body.
Yeah.
So
And it's-
therapy?
There's definitely something to, like, is it a pain thing? Like, does it hurt
Yeah.
when you try to use a tampon? Does it hurt when you try to use toys or
Yeah.
whatever? Like, or do you just not like the idea of touching yourself? Because like, I think there's
Again, vaginismus or repression, right?
yeah, there's a whole list of things that could be the reason why this is happening. From you're doing it wrong
Yeah.
on both cases
Mhm.
to, as Niall said, like a past trauma or a fear or repression or
Mhm.
religious or any number of things. Like we aren't going to be able to diagnose this.
No, but we can say you should probably get therapy.
You
And like
should, speak to a number of different therapists, right?
Mhm.
Like if you speak to a normal therapist that just sort of like focuses on the broader strokes
Mm-hmm.
of things and they don't really see much going on, maybe speak to a sex therapist.
Sure.
You can
go
also
to a gynecologist.
gynecologists, pelvic floor doctors. There's a lot of people and specialists out there that
Mhm.
deal with this. And I think that the more you get worried about it, the more it'll feed into
Yeah.
it's sort of the same thing when like guys are worried about like not being able to come or
Mhm.
coming too fast
Yeah.
or whatever, where the more you think about it, the more your
worse
brain
it
is
kinda,
like,
exacerbates.
okay,
Yeah.
let's make this a big deal.
But like, I cannot imagine that being in a less safe environment, like a stranger doing things to you, like that is high pressure enough for people usually without your issues.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine why your issues would be better in that case than when you're at home in the safety of your room by yourself and you can't even like touch yourself. So
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't go and be like, well, give it a shot, because that could then color all your fucking experiences from then on. So try to get this sorted beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe it's just a matter of like pushing through that uncomfortable state, right? Like, but
Again,
I don't
once
think-
it's not painful,
Yeah.
don't push through if it's painful. You don't
painful,
want to hurt
or
yourself.
even if you start getting overwhelmed,
yeah.
right? Like take the necessary steps to keep yourself comfortable and
Mhm.
safe.
Well, I think you got to try to put a finger on, no pun intended, why, right? Like, is it pain? Is it
Yeah.
discomfort? Is it disgust? Is it fear? Is it like, what is it? And try to rationalize why, because it's your body. You're allowed to do these things. You know what I mean?
I think that's a really good point of being like, all right, I'm going to start. And what is it that freaks me out?
Because the thing is, like, crying, that's a pretty extreme fucking reaction. So it's either such pain, in which case, go to a fucking doctor, or it's such, again, you've got such a mental block over it. And
Yeah.
either way, you need to see someone.
yeah. There's no way that we can diagnose this, and there's no way that we should.
Mhm.
But there's definitely medical professionals and mental health professionals that you should talk to before you try to start having sex if there is this much of an issue with the idea of penetration. Again, I don't think it's funny that your concern is pleasure
Yeah.
and not practice.
Mhm.
Like not the fact that like, can you even do it?
Yeah.
So it's strange that those are like the sort of steps that you've
Mhm.
taken. So I definitely think you should talk to someone about this.
100%. One more?
Is it a quick one?
I got a real long one.
No. Then no, I don't.
Okay, I'll hit you with a quick one.
Okay.
The other one I'm going to put on our Patreon. So if you're interested about the pop-up question, it'll be on our Patreon. Sorry, we got carried away today. This is by Neither Strategy 4579. What does it mean when your new squeeze says she picked you because of your soul? This woman I started dating a couple days ago had me confused. She's 5'2", 110 pounds. I'm 6'1", 380 pounds. She's also athletic. Out of curiosity, I asked if she was into bigger guys in general. She replied that she chose me because of my soul. She says she can feel safe with me and that she can be herself without needing to put on a fake persona. What does she mean by my soul?
My dude, this lovely woman has said, I like you.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't matter as much as how much I like who you are as a person.
Yeah, something you're clearly hung up on.
Yeah. You seem like a big guy, which is, fine.
You've told us in no uncertain terms
Yeah.
twice in a very short question. So obviously it is a thing you're hung up on and worried about. You brought it up.
You also mentioned that she's athletic, she's small, she's tiny. And like, look, I get it. As someone, who might be struggling with their body issue, or body image issues, it's sometimes nice to talk about it and like get an idea about it. And like talking about your insecurities is a great way to strengthen your relationship and potentially get over it.
Sure.
Right? Like,
I do think he didn't quite take that step. He definitely did one of those things
he
where
did
you
his toe in the pool, right? Like
probably more in a harmful way, I think, where the way like people ask questions and they're almost trying to bait a bad response. You know what I mean? Like when people are just so insecure that they like almost want to be like, yeah, confirm for me that I fucking suck or whatever.
Yeah.
And doubly so when they got a nice answer and they're like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
What does it fucking mean?
Like what do you think it means?
What do you think it means?
It's very clear.
She lays it out. She feels safe with you and she doesn't have to put on a fake persona.
Yeah, it seems like you appreciate her for who she is. And she's returning the favor. I appreciate you, who you are.
Yeah.
You make me feel safe. I can be myself around you. I like you. I like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And the shell that is around you, I assume probably also likes.
Well, for sure. I don't think anyone's going to be like, well, you're disgusting, but
Yeah.
I can overlook it, I guess, because you're soul. No, like she likes you. And the thing is, you're almost reducing her like of you to a fetish. Like, oh, do you like bigger guys? That's so reductive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if
you're
somebody
also-
asked me something like that, I'd be like, well, you're way more than just this one category you've decided to put yourself into. So she was elaborating on that and being like, no, I like you. And you're trying to fuck that up.
Yeah. I mean, there was a period of time where I went on a date with a woman, and I think we went on like 2 or 3. And out of the blue one time, and like I was really vibing with her, and out of the blue, she was a black woman, and she was like, "So do you only date black women?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "So am I your first?" And like got really zeroed in on it, and I was just like, and I don't know like what happened. I don't know if like someone got in her head. I don't know if like she got in her own head.
It could be just that like in the past people have been weird about it.
100%.
You know what
Like
I mean?
I totally get it. Like, because again, I went on a date with a woman. I think I told this before, where within like 10 minutes she was like, "I'm not Asian," and like
You're like, what?
I was surprised because I thought she was, but I was just like, okay. And she's like, all right. I just had to check because a lot of dudes, like the second they find out I'm not Asian,
It's so bizarre.
they like lose interest or get weird about it. And I was just like, that sucks. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah.
But like, no, I find you attractive regardless of like what ethnicity you are. But with this one woman, it got to the point where I was just like, is this a problem for you? Like I swiped on you.
It
and
almost seems like, what's the issue? Is the issue that you're not fetishizing?
Yeah,
Is the
and it
issue
was-
like that it's your first, like, because I assume it was in this question, or was it not? Like, if your first, like, date with a black person?
no.
Okay, well then, so were they upset that that wasn't?
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was, but I was just like, I really tried to like,
Because, like,
see
if-
it from her point of view and being
If you
like,
were fetishizing, I could imagine that, like, yes, this would be an issue. And if
Yeah.
it was your first time, maybe they'd be like, oh God, who knows how it's going to,
he's
this,
like chasing,
yeah. Or like,
But
now this is like the box tick or something. But
Yeah.
if you're just like neither of those two things, like, okay, we should
Yeah.
be fine.
I,
And that's me reaching to find issues, right?
yeah, and I was just like, I kept trying to like reassure and just be like, but I felt like the more I reassured, the more I was like playing into,
For sure,
into
yeah.
the thing, and I was like, I liked you. We had great banter.
Mhm.
We had good chemistry on our first date.
Also, what are you getting at? Like, what is the issue here?
And I was like, I understand that, like, dating as a person of color is probably
Sure.
considerably harder, especially when you're dating, a white person or someone who's not the same ethnicity as
also,
you.
man.
Yeah. So I was like really trying to be empathetic, but I was just like, I don't know what to do here because I feel like every answer I'm giving you is
Yeah.
wrong, but they are the truth.
Yeah, and also you would imagine in this situation the better answers than
Yeah,
if you were like, no, I'm fetishizing you. This
Yeah.
is great.
So when it like if you want to like bring these things up, I think it's important for whatever reason. Like if you're worried that the only reason she's with you is because she's into bigger guys and that's all she's seeing, I don't think there's any harm in bringing that up because it's peace of mind, right? I think that like you're going to spiral and think about it and get weird about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to do these little like quick things, but then you have to listen to what they say.
Yeah.
And when they say something as sweet as, no, I like you, you make me feel safe.
Yeah.
I can be myself around you. You take a deep breath and be like, nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that's the thing. It's like, you know what she means by your soul. It's your personality. It's your vibe. It's you.
Yeah.
You don't need to go on Reddit and be like, what does she mean? You know what she fucking means. You're just refusing to accept it because you're trying to find a problem because you're so insecure.
Yeah. And look, I get insecurities.
Yes. Again, this isn't me being like, what? Like, huh? I get it, but it's also a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a thing you should fix, and it's a thing you need to be aware of.
One of the things I struggled with for the longest time was I never really thought of myself as an attractive person, but I kept sleeping with very attractive people and dating very attractive people. And it got to the point where I was just like, it doesn't really matter if I'm attractive or not, right? Like from an objective standpoint or whatever, because I was like, these people who want to sleep with me and date me find me attractive, presumably.
You would hope so.
Right? Like it's very often I would get like people being like, I need to, being enthusiastic to see me again. So it was something I had to really train out of me to be like, it doesn't really matter what view I have of myself in the sense of like, do I think I'm attractive to the masses?
Sure. It'd be like if you're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm fit, but I keep winning the Olympics. So
yeah,
I guess like even if I'm not fit by my own definition, I'm fit enough to win the Olympics. You know what I mean? It's like
it's kind of like a sort of like body dysmorphia thing where like you almost like I stepped outside of myself and was like, I understand that I feel this way, but when I'm looking at the grand scheme of things, being like, okay, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
So why am I worried about
100%. And that's, I think, like part of it is just realizing what you do. So this question asker needs to realize they are insecure. They're making a problem out of their perceived stuff.
Yeah.
And like, again, makes sense. We all do it. But she's giving you a nice answer. Just take it. You know what I mean? A good thing is happening for you. Just take it. Just let it ride. Like, don't sabotage it because you're insecure, because that's just going to make you feel more insecure. You know? And I will.
Sorry, go.
Just very quickly, with the topic of like, by all means, bring up these insecurities with your partners. Obviously, we believe that. Obviously, we encourage that. But do it openly. Don't backdoor in a comment, which is really you saying I'm insecure internally, but externally is you asking an innocent question, and you're going to take that answer differently. And that person doesn't know what you're really saying, but you're still going to take it in terms of what you meant to say.
You need to be
People do that all the time. Like, oh, like, do you like that girl's ass or something? And it's like, yeah, sure. And it's like, oh my God, he thinks I'm fat. He hates my ass or some shit. It's like, don't ask something else while meaning something different.
Yeah.
Which people always fucking do. If you want to talk about an insecurity, do it openly. Even this, oh, do you usually like normal guys? Like bigger guys? That's not you saying, hey, I'm insecure that, you're smaller and fit and like I'm pretty big. Like that's a very different conversation. If she was just like, yeah, she could have just been thinking back and being like, oh yeah, I have been with.
Also, she's 5'1" and 110.
Everyone's bigger.
Everyone is bigger than her.
Yeah. So she easily could have answered honestly, which to her would have probably meant nothing, but to you would probably have been devastating. And that's so unfair on her because she wouldn't be in the wrong and she wouldn't have meant anything by it. But to you, it would be like crushing.
It's very important to use like the active voice of being like, hey, I'm a little insecure about my size in comparison to you.
Or even just be like, you're super fit. And like, unfortunately, like I am not or whatever. I feel like I'm blah, blah, blah. And then just say it to her. And then she will just be like, nah, dude, I like you. And then you'll be like, what does she mean? Yeah.
I think a good way to get through this and get over it is to thank her and tell her how much it means, right? Like if someone said that to me, that would be very nice. So one of the things I did when I was trying to sort of like get over my self-esteem issues was when someone said something nice to me, I didn't blow it off. I didn't ignore it. I didn't try to mine it for secret meanings. I just said, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say.
Also, like, think of it like reversed, right? When she asks you something and you say something to her, you mean it, right?
Yeah. Is there a secret meaning?
Exactly.
A double entendre? Is there like something that you're protecting? Like,
and if there is, you got to fix that. But
Yeah.
there probably won't be. So it's like, why are you the only one being honest?
And look,
Right?
sometimes we tell our partners and our significant others and our friends something nice because we want them to feel good.
Mhm.
It might not be the complete and absolute truth,
Mhm.
but sometimes you say, you know, you look great today or something because you just want them to feel good.
Yeah.
And
And that also means they like you,
yeah,
right? Which is the point.
yeah.
Yeah, so just don't sabotage yourself. But again, I used to be that way a lot, where like I would be nice to people, I would do things to people, I would compliment people, I was genuine about all of it. But then whenever somebody did something
Yeah.
for me, I would be like, oh fuck, like I don't deserve that, or like I feel really guilty, they did this nice thing for me, or like, oh, they said this, they don't mean it.
Yeah.
And there's like, why? Why is it
Yeah.
different rules for me and different rules for them? And I'd like to try to think of things that way, where it's like, if for some reason they are lying or being shitty, that's a them problem. But the
Yeah.
odds of it happening are pretty fucking low because, again, why would it be different for me? You know?
It's very important to like kind of step outside yourself when it comes to insecurities and
Mhm.
like take a look at the whole room and be like, I don't matter in the equation of like everyone in this room. Everyone is as equally insecure about
Mhm.
something as I am,
100%.
and everyone's dealing with their own thing. No one gives a shit about, you know, the people who find me attractive are going to find me attractive. And it doesn't matter if I find myself attractive
Yeah.
or think that I'm not appealing to people if I am.
Yeah. Although it will help
It
if
will
you
help,
are
yeah.
a little more chill and
A
confident.
little extra confidence never hurt anybody.
and stop fucking self-sabotaging like in this instance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for coming along on
We did
this
it.
closet ride. We love you. If you would like to support us, please go over to our Patreon and sign up. You'll get extra episodes and you will help us remain afloat. Please share us, tell a friend, give us a good review. You know, the world is really cracking down on a lot of sex positive things,
Yeah.
and anything deemed adult or pro LGBTQ plus or anything. So like we're seeing kind of like a lot of reduction in our like reach and our scope lately. And I hope it's not because we suck, but if it is, feel free to tell us. And if it isn't, try to stem that tide, or I guess the opposite of stem. Try to unleash the flood of fuck buddies,
Unstem it.
unstem us. Just because the world is kind of taking a shitty turn, and we don't want good voices to be silenced.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're also good voices. And thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Ladies, for their song Paper Stars. Ready for some bad sex writing?
Yes.
We should be stemmed after I read this. After the loving and kissing, I put my head between her thighs and got my first full view of her vagina. It had the expression of a newborn baby crying. My heart went out to it, and I gently covered it with my hand and christened it My Handful of Love.
Gross.
What the fuck?
Imagine anyone doing that to, like, obviously we don't have vulvas, but if someone
Just cupped your balls and we're like, shh, and you like get the water and
yeah,
my handful of love. I'd be like, so we're never seeing each other.
yeah, are you
again.
treating my dick like a unchristened child? What's
Also,
happening down there?
Imagine looking up and being like, it has the expression of a crying baby. What the fuck babies have you seen?
Why? Also,
Why would you equate my junk with a baby's
yeah,
face?
why are you equating the thing that you fuck with a baby face? I hate it.
Oh, written by Trump. No.
It's bad.
It's bad.
My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. I'm sorry I brought that.
RPG.
RPG!